In this video, I'm going to talk about why am I leaving Austria after 32 years. I'm also going to add a slideshow with all of the places I've lived throughout my life. I thought it would just be interesting. This is also going to be the last video that I'm not on camera, so it'll be more interesting if people can see who's actually speaking. So why am I leaving after 32 years of living in Austria? Obviously, I like it here. I've stayed for 32 years. There's a lot of benefits for me living here. At the same time, when I got divorced in 2002, I knew that I wanted to live somewhere that had more snow and wildlife. And I wanted to see mountains from my windows and be around rivers, more of like a countryside type of living. So after my divorce, I decided to move to a few small Austrian towns that had what I wanted, but none of them really had the wildlife that I wanted, and they didn't have as much snow as I wanted. So around 2010, I started looking through Google all these places you can live. I looked in Serbia in the mountains, in Romania in the mountains, in Siberia. Once I looked at Siberia, I knew I would die there within a week, so that came off my list immediately. But I looked at a bunch of countries, and none of them really drew me to them. I really didn't have a reason to go to Romania and live in the mountains. So I started looking at places in Canada and some places in the US like northern Minnesota, Wyoming, and Montana, and I think some places in Colorado. But I really didn't want to move back to the lower 48 states because I've been gone for so long. It's such a different lifestyle for me there. And I didn't want to get back into that life where you're always rushing around to do things. It's more stress. I didn't want that. So I really focused on Canada, and I guess I started then focusing on Alaska. Canada was simply too difficult getting a permanent visa there. I don't want to go through all of that. And Alaska is going to be basically the same as Canada. They're offering you the same wildlife and same amounts of snow, depending on where you live, of course. So that's when I really started finding out as much information as I can on Alaska and where I could live there and what I could do there. And I would say I spent about 8 years looking through all of these places in Alaska. I even had the opportunity to speak to Denali Park Rangers and a really friendly lady at the Anchorage Fish and Game, I believe it was. I spoke to that owner of the hotel in McCarthy. I spoke to an owner of a lodge in Bettles. The people were extremely friendly, and I was contacting people as far north as Prudhoe Bay, which I knew I didn't want to live up there, and as far south as the Kenai Peninsula and into, I guess, Kodiak also. So I had spoken to a lot of people who were owning lodges and some people who were park rangers, and I also spoke to several people who live there. I just spent a lot of time online getting these people's contact and speaking with them. And over those 8 years, I really decided it was going to be Alaska where I was going to move to. And I'll get into that later. But that's really how I wound up deciding to leave Austria. Alaska was going to be the only place where I would move to if I left Austria. And I just decided I will wait it out. And when I'm ready to move, I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to plan it. I'm going to wake up one day and say, I feel like moving to Alaska now. So, 13 years has gone by. I've been really patient, but it really hasn't been bad because I wasn't entirely ready to leave Austria until now. And this year in January, I decided it's time, and I'm gonna head up there, and I'll be there in October. I am staying in Valdez for the first 5 to 7 months. The reason for Valdez is I want to live in the snowiest city in the US. The only reason I'm moving to Alaska, which people are not going to understand, I don't expect people to understand. The only reason I'm moving there is for the snow and for the wildlife. My family doesn't understand, my friends don't understand, my colleagues don't understand. Even the taxi driver here says, "Why are you leaving? You have such a comfortable life here." But it's just something I want to do. And like I said, I decided I'm going to go to Valdez for the first 5 to 7 months. I'm just going to take it easy there, get to know some things. It's going to be through the winter. I really want to see how that town gets through with all of the snow they get. And after the winter, I'm going to head to another part of Alaska, which whoever follows the channel will find out where that's going to be. And that's really the reason I'm leaving Austria. It's just I want more snow, I want more wildlife, and I want to check out Alaska. I'm not saying I'm going to permanently live in Alaska. What I've decided, because it's been really difficult for me to leave Austria, was that I'm looking at this like a 1 year or 2 year vacation. Of course, when I'm in Alaska, I have to work, I'll have a normal life. But it's difficult for me to say I'm leaving Austria forever because this is my home now. I've been here for so long. I'm just going to go to Alaska thinking 1 year, 2 year vacation. If I like it, I'm going to stay. If I don't like it, I always have the option to come back to Austria. So I'm not really getting myself stuck. I'm giving myself options in case something isn't the way I would like it to be, or maybe there's something I find out that just isn't great for me. It can be many different things. So this channel actually is going to turn into me living in Alaska and going through the things I'll go through, and I'm going to share them with you. I really look forward to sharing the snow and the winter in Valdez, how it's like living in a port city. I'm not one of those people who's going to go hiking and climb mountains and make a silly channel where I'm overreacting to things or making it like a reality show. There's a lot of YouTube channels like that. People are very good putting on acts to draw viewers and to get their attention. I'm not that type of person. I'm just going to behave like I normally behave. I'm not going to put on any acts. I'm guessing the following year I'm going to go camping a lot. That's something I'm also interested in. And that's also something that attracts me to Alaska. Not that you can't camp anywhere, but I like the idea that you can boondock pretty much anywhere. And you can boondock in some states, but not like you can in Alaska. I think you have many more options with camping there. So that's where this video is going to end. I hope I make some really good videos when I'm in Alaska. I can put them up here, and I look forward to getting started. My next video is going to be me arriving, and I'm going to drive through part of Alaska with a friend for a couple of days on the way to Valdez. So hopefully I get some good videos to put up showing certain areas we're going to drive through. We're going to drive through the interior, and from Fairbanks through the interior, and we're going to head to Valdez. That's the plan right now. Things may change by the time October gets here, but that's the plan. Okay, so I look forward to putting up these videos, and I hope everyone enjoys them, and like and subscribe.